All right, guys, so today we're starting 4.2, which is slope as a rate of change. And we kind of worked on this yesterday. It says, given the following x values, find the corresponding y values, then we're going to graph the function. So we're actually going to be graphing today, guys. What it does on number one is it's telling us f of x equals 2x plus 3. But remember, f of x is really just y, okay? So it's saying y equals 2x plus 3. Then it's giving us 6x values. And what we're going to do is plug those in and get out y values. So we're going to start with our first x value, -5. This whole middle section, we're just going to plug that in for x. So I'm going to write 2, I'm going to open parentheses, plus 3. And guys, we've got to get used to putting parentheses around everything that we plug in. So I'm going to plug in -5. Now, this is basically a calculator problem. 2 times -5 is -10, plus 3 gives me my y value of -7. So I'm going to come over here to this table. I have x and y, and I'm going to write -5 for my x value, -7 for my y value. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the rest. I'm using -4 next, so 2 times something plus 3. I'm going to plug in the x value, -4. 2 times -4 is -8, plus 3 is -5. So I have -4, -5. Our next value skips a little bit and goes to -1. So 2 times something plus 3. I'm plugging in a -1 this time. 2 times -1 is -2, plus 3 is 1. So -1, 1. And we keep going in that fashion. Let's see, I'll have 0, 1, and 3. I'm going to do the same thing each time, just plugging in a different number. And then I'm going to slowly plug in my numbers. Let's see, I plug in 0 here, 1 here, and 3 there. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. So I have the point 0, 3. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. So 1, 5. And last, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3 gives me 9. So I have 3, 9. Now remember, guys, this table is our points. I have -5, -7. I have -4, -5. -1, 1. 0, 3. 1, 5, and 3, 9. And you do not have to write those points out. But sometimes people get a little bit confused on how to go from a table to points, and that's how it works, okay? So let's go down and let's plot these points. So whenever you're plotting points, you need to start from the center when you're counting, okay? Be as precise as possible. My first point is -5, -7. So I'm going to start here at the origin, and I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, and down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There is my first point, okay? Now I'm going to erase all that because we don't want to confuse it with what we're actually doing, okay? So we went left 5, down 7. Be very careful and count as best you can. Then I'm going to go over -4, and I'm not going to draw the marks this time. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my second point. Now I have -1, 1, so over to the left 1, up 1. I have 0, 3, so I don't go over at all to the left or right and up 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 5, over 1, up, over to the right 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last one's 3, 9, so I go over 3 and go up all the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're going to sketch a line through all of those. Let's see, I'm going to change colors here so you can see it. Make it as straight as you can. It should be pretty much a straight line. I kind of messed up there. May not be perfect, but that's okay. It should hit every single point. And I'm going to put arrows at either end, okay? Now, those arrows mean they can keep on going. Obviously, I could plug in 10, 50, -500, whatever I want. It's just not quite going to fit on our XY axis here. That's something I didn't put on here, though, guys. That's X and that's Y, so keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about domain. Remember, domain is from left to right. It's our X values. Well, I can't tell how far left I go because it goes left forever. It has an arrow. I can't tell how far right it goes either because it goes on forever. So that means there is no value in the domain that I can't enter in. So my domain is all real numbers. Okay? It goes on forever in either direction. Pretty much anytime you have a straight line with arrows at the end, it's going to be all real numbers. Range is bottom to top, or our y values. So I can't tell how low it goes, and I can't tell how high it goes, so it is also all real numbers. All right. So be careful when you're plotting your points. Take care when you do it, or you will lose points. Let's go to the next page. Now, we're going to talk about slope connected. There is a slope that connects each straight line, connected with each straight line. The way you find it, it's the rate of vertical change to horizontal change. Now, guys, vertical means up and down. Horizontal means left to right. What you've probably heard it as before is that slope equals the rise over the run. We can also say, or it's the change in y, this is what we talked about yesterday, over the change in x. You've done rise over run before, guys. Basically, this is going to be pretty easy, but you have to take your time. You're going to miscount. So let's look at these little diagrams here. This is basically telling us if something's positive, negative, has a zero slope, or undefined. If we're moving up and to the right, we've talked about that before. When we did graphs, up and to the right meant things were increasing. That means we have a positive slope. So you don't have to worry about counting positives or negatives when you rise over run. Just know if it's up and to the right, it's a positive slope. Down and to the right is a negative slope. Remember, that was when things were decreasing. If you have a perfectly horizontal line, then your slope is 0. And if it's vertical up and down, there is no slope. It is undefined. Okay, and we'll look at why that is in just a second. So let's look at this last graph. It's going to ask us for some slopes using rise over run. Now, each time it's going to give us 2 points. You're going to start at one of the points and count left, right, or up, down to the next point. Okay, so first I'm going to look at C. C is right here. You probably can't see what I just did there. Let me put it in a different color. C is right here. So I know I have to travel right here to get to D. Okay, don't cut across. Well, let's see. Rise is up and down, so my rise is 1, 2, 3. My run is left to right, which is 1, 2, 3. This line right here. Okay, now I'm going to erase this right here. I know that the rise is 3 and the run is 3. But guys, this has a downward to the right direction. That means it's going to be negative. And negative 3 divided by 3 is actually just negative 1. Okay, it's really important to pay attention. And I mean, you have a line right above this that goes down and to the right, and that means it's a negative slope. Let's move to the next point. I'm going to start at B, and I'm going to go to C. So let's see. I'm going to draw that line. It looks like it's a positive slope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the run. 1, 2, 3 for the rise. Well, it's rise over run, so it's 3 over 6, and it's positive, so I'm not going to put a negative, but we can simplify that to 1/2. I'm going to erase that. Let's go to the next one. E to F. Well, here's E and here is F. Now, you might be able to tell that's a vertical line, which we know the slopes can be undefined, but let's just count it. The rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 is the rise. But since it doesn't move left or right, the run is 0. And guys, if you don't know, you cannot divide by 0. So whenever your rise over run has a denominator that's 0, the answer is it's undefined. Think of it like a cliff. It's a vertical cliff. If you walk off, your fate is undefined. Let's look at the next one. Looks like we have A to E. So let's see. It looks like it's going to be a positive slope. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is the run. 1 is the rise. So the rise over run would be 1 over 12, and that's positive. It's already simplified, so we're good to go. B to D. Now this one also appears to be just a horizontal line, so the slope's going to be 0, but let's see why. Let's see the run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 9. So I'm going to have 9 on my run. And the rise is nothing. It's 0. Now we can't divide by 0, but 0 can be divided by things. And if you divide 0 by anything, you always get 0. We've got one more. Looks like we're doing B to F. Now before I even start, it's down and to the right. I'm going to go ahead and put a negative sign over here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the rise. And the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So negative 6 over 11. I cannot simplify that, so that's my answer. Now guys, this is not very difficult stuff if you'll take your time. Take a little pride in your work. Make sure you sketch it. Make sure you check for whether it's positive or negative. Count carefully, and this shouldn't be bad. If you have any questions, please let me know, and good luck.